everybody. Hopefully everybody's doing good. So it's been a while since our last live class. As I said, I took a couple of weeks off. I ended up taking one extra week off. And to be honest, I'll probably just go back to my normal routine November. I have things happening every month like booked, and we'll see. But soon. So I am going to use the 24 centimeter skull, which is the 7.5 scale skull. The only reason that I'm using this size is because it was what I have in hand, ready to go with eyes, the proper size. So I just went for the easier one. And also, if I decide to make a sculpture after, this is always a size that I like to work with. So those are the main reasons that I picked this one. I have a skull here that is with defect, so that those are mine. Every time you make new skulls and they come with small defects, they are mine for my use because I'm not gonna sell. So, and today we're gonna start sculpting the surprised face. I posted the link for the reference that I'm using on the Facebook group and on Patreon. So for my private students, the link is on Patreon and it's also on Facebook group. If you are new here, read this video description and you will find all the links you need to join the classes and to watch the previous classes free on YouTube, or to watch the lots of other private lessons that I have available for only $10 a month on Patreon. Okay, so just read the description and there's a lot of links over there. So today we're going to start a new phase, so there's not a lot to ask if you guys have doubts, or we can just go ahead and start. So I'm going to start by placing the eyes, and I'm going to add some clay. I didn't add any gel or anything to make the clay softer. It's just clay, and I am pressing with my fingers and kneading a lot, so it's nice and soft. Polymer clay, the more you knead. I don't know how to say that word. Anyway, the more you squeeze, the more soft it gets. So I'm gonna put a little bit in there. This is still the same clay that I did all the face, so it's quite dirty, but it's okay because I will paint after. It's not just dirty, actually there's a lot of flocking to this clay because it's the same one that I did I think the same one that I did the first class, Frida. I think that's Frida maybe, or no, I'm not sure. But this is flocking, as you guys can see. There are classes here teaching how to add flocking to the clay. And this is just to make the skin more realistic. So this is a light skin color with flocking and some dog hair that I have to remove. But that's something I can't avoid. So I just put a little bit of clay in there to place the eyes, and we can do the same with the jaw, just so this is gonna look more like a complete skull. So we can start. Just placing clay in there, and I'm going to tight the joint here. Thank you, Charlie. And so let me show you guys the reference I've shown in when I went live on my Instagram and my Facebook to invite people, but it's always good to show here too in case of you're not scoping along with me and you're just curious. So this is what I'm gonna do with this face. This is what it's going to be, and this is a 3D reference, which is pretty good because we can move around. There's some defects here. We can zoom in. No, that's not how you zoom in. How do you zoom in here? I'm not sure how to zoom in, but there's the link, so you guys go ahead and figure it out. If we can't zoom in, it's fine. We can always work with what we have, and it's pretty good because you can look in different angles, and that's very helpful. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to keep the reference kind of in this position so I know how the eyes are going to look like. So she's looking straight up. And remember, this is just a reference. It doesn't mean that I'm making that specific face. It's just a reference to guide me through a surprise face expression. So there's no commitment to make a portrait here. There's no commitment to make the same person or the exact same face expression. Just some reference. Remember, keep that in mind. So if you lose this fear, like, oh, it's not going, if you lose this commitment, oh, it's not looking the same, and let your creativity go, then you have more chances to enjoy what you're doing and to like your piece at the end. So I'm just putting the place in the jaw, kind of with the same opening, open mouth, not wild, like very wild open, but a little bit. There you go. I did not do anything inside the mouth, like I didn't put a tongue. You can if you want, but it's not really going to show. I think I'm gonna make it less open. Like I can't barely see anything on her, so that's good enough. If you do want to put a tongue in there, you should do it now. So let me remove. Let's just do it. Let's just do it to be more complete. Hola, Mexico, Mexico. So just the same clay for the face, and we can paint differently after if we need to. And I'm gonna place it in here. You can do texture if you want, but I would not worry about that for this size and position of the mouth. So that's just it. There's something in there. It's not completely white resin. And that's pretty good. Thank you, Karina. And now I'm gonna place the eyes. So those are handmade eyes. I used to sell them on Etsy, but it's a lot of work handmade to make all these eyes handmade, and because they're handmade, they don't get 100% perfect, and I still get complaints, and it takes me a long time to make it, and they are so tiny. So right now I'm just placing them here. I'm not really posing, just wanted them to be kind of in there. And now carefully, I use this tool, but I'm very gentle, I'm very careful with it. And now I'm gonna make it look up. So I'm going to roll this eye up here. Oops. Nope, it did not work. It's easier when I put the gel. So it gets more, the clay gets more sticky. So if you have trouble moving the eyes, just placing the eyes, just put some gel on your clay and make a sticky clay. Like I've shown before, I do have students that don't like the gel. A complete face. Julius, depend on the face. Like usually when I'm sculpting by myself, if it's not a portrait, probably I can do it in one day to sculpt the face, the other day to fix the symmetry the best I can. So 2 days if it's not a portrait. It could take longer. Sometimes I don't like the face and I start changing too much, But a portrait also depends on the portrait. Sometimes I get Larry. It happens to everyone. Sometimes I get the portrait really fast, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. I keep on making mistakes, and then it can take me like from 3 to 10 days on a face. So it's really hard to say. Hi, I am Brazilian. Yes, eu sou brasileira. So that is a good... Hello, Tony Stark. Again. I'm so lucky to have Tony Stark on my channel. So fancy. There you go. Rolling up here, and I'm gonna roll this one up too, otherwise she's gonna look crazy. Cachaça? Não, não bebo cachaça não. Que isso? Bebo não. Eu não bebo álcool, na verdade. Hola, Chile. There you go. And you guys from all over the world over here, what an honor to have you all. When COVID is done, I should do a tour, traveling around, giving classes, live class, in-person classes. That'll be great. I love traveling. I used to do that, go to Brazil every 2 years to teach over there. And then the dollar, the Brazilian money went too low, and people can't afford anymore. I live in dollars, so the dollar complicated for my students over there. Then I haven't been going anymore. And then COVID right now in Brazil is crazy. The president crazy. There you go. Look at that. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Thiago. I watched the movie. Yeah, I love that actress. I didn't like the movie a lot. Like, I thought, I don't know. I can't really get sympathy for a villain that in the original movie wants to kill a bunch of puppies, and they had to completely change the character to make us like her. But I don't know. I didn't fall for it very much. I love puppies. I have a hard time in liking her. I mean, she's a great villain, but as a good, her view of things, I didn't buy it. Thought it was impossible to. It is impossible to make her likable with the original story that they gave her. So look at that. Oh, that's already a cute skull looking up. If you like skulls, you can sculpt just that. Make a body and make funny things here, make cartoons. That still look great. All right, so any doubts here, any question? Oh, because he probably have to use material from out of Brazil. No question. So I'm going to now, we can cover some of the deeper areas just to avoid air bubbles, because we're going to place the skin right now, and you don't want a space between the skin and the clay, so it needs to be pretty tight up in there. We can leave the skull the way it is. I will leave so we can see the skull after, but you have to be pretty careful to don't let air bubbles, because if you leave air bubbles, what happens is when you go put in the oven, the heat will warm up the air that is in there, and the air is going to try to expand through the clay, and it can cause moonies or cracks. So we have to be pretty careful. All right, so I didn't open my clay on the thinner set. Let me just thin up a bit. I have no idea what I'm going to do with those faces. To be honest, I'm on pause on my mental working priorities right now, creativity. I'm on pause button. Fazer as partes íntimas. Okay, the Brazilian question there is if when I sculpt those sculptures, if I have to sculpt the genitals. It depends. If it's showing, then yeah. If it's hiding, then no. Or if it's showing but I don't want to show, I don't want to go that detailed, then I don't. It really depends, it depends on what you want and what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. Entendeu? Depende do que você quer. Se vai aparecer, se não vai, se você quer que apareça, se você não quer. Eu faço, quando vai aparecer sim, eu faço. Não faço grandes coisas não, mas faço. Não tenho problema com as partes íntimas, não. Às vezes eu não faço porque não pode postar, né? Se tiver parte íntima, não pode postar. So sometimes I avoid doing because it's hard to post your pictures public on social medias and stuff because they consider that is a naked woman and they block the page and create a bunch of problems. So this time I did different here. I was talking and I didn't pay attention in what I was doing. So I just, instead of pushing down the clay, I went to the front, but I'm gonna show you that this is also not a problem because we can cut here and keep on going. Doesn't matter. Oh, look at that. Weirdo. It's fine. This is a great clay. It attaches to itself really easy and it doesn't really give us problems. So, there you go. I'm gonna cut here as well. Like I don't have like a proper way that I don't keep repeating doing the same. Yeah, yeah, not having the genitalia could look weird too, right? It's just sometimes it's easier to, you know, put some hair on top to kind of hide a little bit so you can post the pictures of your sculpture without having problems if you intend to post. If you don't intend to post on social medias, then whatever. I already had my page deleted. Deleted, no, they canceled my page because of a picture of my sculpture naked, a naked woman. And I have to message them and explain it was not a naked woman, blah, blah, blah. I had to send pictures of me holding my passport. And then they gave me back. Okay, so I am pressing tight to the skull. This is the nose right here. Can you guys see the shape? This is the nose right here. So I'm gonna press especially in the nose because I want the clay to get in there in the hole and don't let air bubbles. So if you need to destroy the clay, the thin, the smooth layer of clay on top, that's fine. Just go in there and make sure there's no air bubbles in there. So those are the spots that usually the air bubbles get attached to, is inside of the nose. It is inside of the eye here. So we can also press. Make sure that you can see the eyeball over there. Here on the tempora. So make sure to press in there too. If you feel there's an air bubble, destroy, let the air get out, and then put new clay and smooth it out. Obrigada, Jordan. And under here, under the cheeks too, there's a big, let me get another skull. Here, see? There's a big deep area there, so it's always good to press in there. Make sure it's in there. You can do that right now or before adding clay. You can kind of like put some clay in these holes to help you to avoid air bubbles. And the reason that you can put clay with no fear is that this is the bone structure, but there's a lot of muscles and fat on our cheeks that hide this hole, so we can't really see on our face. So it's not going to show on the face, but it's there, and it's good as a mark for you to know the proportions and don't make a mistake on that. It's good to know what it is, but you don't need to worry that it's going to be too soft because all the fat and all the muscles will absolutely cover these deep parts. And here we can see in our heads, but not as deep, so you can also go ahead and put some clay before adding the skin if you want it. Okay, so this is what we got here. I'm just going to smooth out a little bit so you guys have a better view of what I got. So it's pretty much a skull with skin, and we know there's an eye underneath. Now I'm going to cut the eyes so I can see here the eyeball. And I'm going to cut kind of in the center right now. I'm not concerned with the eye shape or anything. I kind of just want to cut and cut. And I'm going to cut the lips as well. So there's a hole in here. We can go ahead in under the teeth, and we're going to bring it up after. It doesn't really matter. Just because mine has a... I ripped the clay in here, and there's a mark. But it doesn't matter. We will clean this all up after. All right, now I'm gonna open the eye, and I'm gonna open until I can see my iris. Oh, Thiago said he doesn't feel comfortable and represent all the women. Well, you gotta try. Talk to women, talk to them. So I'm just going to open till I can see the iris, and I'm not concerned with the shape at all. I'm just opening. And I'm gonna open the next one as well. And then I'll decide on the shape later. Tiago, eu não sei, eu tinha que conversar melhor com você, mas aqui na aula eu não vou conseguir fazer isso. There you go. So I just removed the excess of clay here, just to open the eye. Okay? Alright, that's pretty good. So I'm gonna get my ball tool here, and I'm going to press inside the eye here, and here, and here, and here. So inside corner and outside corner. Oh, why are you doing that? I'm doing that because, as I said in a lot of other art classes, the eyelid also it's covering the eyeball, so it does have a ball shape as well. So there's a curve on the inside, and the outside corner is deeper than the center because it's like a ball, right? So it's a rounded shape here, and we have to make sure that this is gonna happen. Again, the bigger mistake that I see in eyes is that beginners tend to make it flat, to make a flat eye. And eye is not flat, it's curved, and the eyelid touches completely the eyeball, so it needs to be touching it, okay? Don't leave a gap in between the two of them. Make sure they will touch. All right, so I guess I'm gonna go closer. So there's no shape yet, it's just a cut so I can see the eyelid. I can see the iris, okay? And now I'm going to get, let me get here a little bit of a bigger bowl. A little bit of a bigger bowl, and I'm gonna bring this part of the nose in a little bit more. I still don't have a nose, but just so I have more space in between the eyes here. And as a beginning of the bridge here, can make it thinner already, so we can see the eyes better here. And this is all optional, you don't really need to do that that step right now. We can do other stuff. Sorry, I missed the last question. Let me see if I can read. When you guys write too much, if you're not able to get a skull, can you show how to get a good shape without a skull someday? I have that class in Portuguese, complete class on how to sculpt a skull. If you go to my channel in Portuguese, you can find this class, and you can add English subtitles to it. I'm not sure how to do it, but there is this option. Because I know that because a lot of my students in Portuguese come to this channel and add the subtitles in Portuguese for those classes. So I know there is this option. I have no idea how to do it though. You have to research. I'm just cleaning here because there's something on my clay. There was like I think a piece of resin, I don't know, was sticking out. All right, so once I do that, what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to press right in between the center of the eyes. I'm going to press down because this is going to be the beginning of my nose. So gently pressing down to form a curve on the profile here. This is not, I'm not sculpting that woman still. I'm just starting a face. And this face can become anything. Hola. She looks like a baboon. It's okay. not for very long. All right, now I'm gonna put a little nose here. Not really a nose, but just a volume, so it doesn't look like a baboon anymore. Oh my God, my girls are playing crazy on the upstairs floor. I don't know if you guys can hear all the noise. So just a tiny little thing in here. Can you guys hear all the noise? It's crazy. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I sculpt really fast. Like I'm sculpting slow because I'm talking and explaining. Usually I do this really fast. Once you learn all the shapes and you know exactly where it needs to be deep, where it needs to have volume, then you start going faster as well. So the angle of the nose cannot be like going straight up. It's always inclinated down, okay? There we go. Well, we're going to do the shape of the nose later. I'm just smoothing out here and here. There we go. And then we're gonna make a better size and everything. We don't need to do everything at the same time. Can start like with a sketch of a face and then we go for the face. So now I'm going to also do the depth on the two corners of the mouth, pressing the bottom of it more, like this. And I kind of keep on coming down for the chin. She looks like an old lady. Okay, now I'm going to press the lips up. Let me just get my reference. She has a long thing here, so I'm going to shorten the nose. And I'm going to bring the lips up, and I want to see her front tooth. So I'm bringing up until I see her front tooth. And then if the nose gets too close to the lips, I'll bring the nose higher because it's kind of long. So you see, I'm not very concerned in how the shape is looking like. All I want here is to show her two, maybe even 3 or 4 or half of each of the side teeth. She shows only one in this side because her lips are not super symmetrical, which is pretty normal. We are not symmetrical. You can laugh, it's fine. She's like, ew, yucky. All right, so I'm showing the 2 teeth here. Now I will gently smooth out the lips here and remove excessive clay. You can try to keep the symmetry correct so we have less trouble working the symmetry after. It's a good idea to do that. Well, we still have a few minutes to make this face decent before I need to post pictures of it. All right, so just kind of rounding this better. So a good way to do this part, is go to your reference and do this. So, oh, hold on, I can full screen. Oh, great. So, and do this. Oh, that's how you zoom in. It's just works on the full screen. And then you can work on this looking at the reference. See how her teeth is not symmetrical. This teeth is a little bit crooked, something like that. And we're gonna do this shape here, similar, so you know how it goes over here, like kind of rounded around. This area is rounded, looking in this direction. I always try to explain this to students and in my other classes, but with the 3D view it makes it easier to explain what I'm talking about. So I'm just kind of fixing this shape. And now that I have that and I know how the lips, how high the lips will be, because I want the two teeth to show, now I will decide on the height of the nose. And again, if you look to the reference, so please put the link in there so I don't need to show on my phone all the time, but this area here, it's quite long on her, which we don't need to do that long, but usually it's not super short, this space. So let's put the nose higher here, because I have no space here at all. See, it's too small, so I'm going to cut this area, cut the nose shorter. I can just remove this clay now. Wonderful. Then we're going to fix the nose a little bit. There you go. Now the bottom lip, I'm going to pull it out. It's too much in. And I want the bottom teeth to be able to see it, if depending on the position we put the face. So I'm going to go deeper in the cut of the mouth here and bring it out until I can kind of see the bottom teeth, but not too much. And I'm going to remove excessive clay as well. So just bring it out and remove or bend in the excessive clay to the chin. Then you change the chin shape too. Just move away. Carve this side more because it's not symmetrical. There we go. I'm not sure if I want to completely show the bottom teeth. Maybe I will not show. I think that's enough. I can see it in there. You guys can see. It's right there. So that's good enough for the sketch. If I need to change that later on, I will. And here I'm just going to bring this clay down. Touch to the chin for now. You see, the mouth is too open. I don't want that open, so I'm just going to squeeze up. That's why I don't like to fix the jaw with glue or anything that won't move, because I like to be able to move if I decide later. There you go. That's good. I'm going to clean up this extra volume that formed for opening and closing the mouth. Here, and if I need to add those volumes after, I will. I kind of like it here. Just have to work on symmetry. There you go. So this skull had no chin at all because there was a bubble under the chin, so I'm gonna have to add some clay here. gonna round the nose a little bit and work on its shape because it's too flat underneath. And there's a cut that I don't want it to be a cut, so I'm just rounding the edges. Putting more in the center. That's good enough for now. We can even poke some holes, so every time I poke the nostril, I'll go up on top here, pull it down and out, top here, pull it down and out, so I get this Y shape inside. So pull it on the top, not pull it, poke on the top, bring it down and out. Poke on the top, bring it down and out. A little bit, very gentle. There you go. We can mark some wings. Wigs, not wings. Wigs. Wigs? No. Wings. Oh my gosh. I have spoken too much Portuguese with my family around. My daughter was here, she'd be, Mom, Mom. She always get embarrassed when I don't know the words in English. All right. It looks quite weird, but let's go with that. All right, so the nose cannot be that flat under here and cannot have the same thickness as the wings. So I will wings, wings. These wings, I'm just thinking about chicken wings and thinking it's weird, but you know. All right, so I'm gonna press just on the top here and on the top here, and that's gonna help me to separate the bridge of the nose from the wings. And then I'll reduce the volume by bringing this down. And same thing here. And I will work on better shapes and, you know, refine the shapes later. I just want to make it looking like a nose right now. And smooth out right here so we can have a better view of what's going on. There you go. Now I'm going to press under the lips here to form the bottom lip shape. Just more on the center. There's no need to press on the sides. On the sides we kind of just clean up. Like this, and I'm going to put some chin because poor woman has no chin. My skull was damaged, so it didn't come with a good chin. Sometimes I get some skulls that I just tell my husband, like, no, I don't think I can make a human out of this. Like this one, it got squeezed, it got so thin. But that guy's like, no, that one not even I can use. Unless I'm making an alien or something like that. Okay, look at that. She's already very surprised. Oh my God. Okay, I like that. So now I'm gonna open the eye on top. And maybe try to smooth everything out a little bit, but it's a pretty good sketch so far, and you see I barely look to the reference. Okay, something that have to be mentioned about the eye is when you press with the ball tool in here, make sure that you will press, and then you will also get rid of this volume here all the way all the way to the chin here and all the way around the face, and it slowly goes out, because otherwise it's going to look like the eye is drawing inside the hole, and that's not what is supposed to happen. So this area here, if you look in this direction, it goes down too, then it meets up with the volume of the cheek just in the back here, just over here. So right here, you see there's a volume here that is weird. So I'm gonna get rid of this volume. So when you look to the eye on the side, it goes back here and then comes back up for the chin. That is all not smoothing at all. But as soon as I smooth it out, you will be able to see better. Just cleaning up the area a little bit, removing some excessive clay from one side and matching up the two sides a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to bring the wings up and up because they are too low still. Just like here, it was coming too much low here. Too much. Too low. And then this is gonna give me more space over there. Just clean up the area. And then always look in this direction too, to do the symmetry. It's not symmetric at all, but it will be. Getting there. Still have to make this nose much thinner. It's very thick. And also blend in this edge of the bridge here. The nose cannot have like an edge on the bridge. It's like you smooth this area out too, to have a nice nose. There's no edges on our face. Everything is nice and smooth. Alright, that's good. I like it so far. Full of marks still, but I like the expression. All right, now I'm going to do the eye. Let me grab something on my computer. So I'm going to start putting just the basic shape here in the eye, so the inside shape of the eyelid, which shows a lot of the iris on the top, like that. And these have to come down and rounded around the eye. Her eyes wide open. So like that. And it shows a lot of the eye underneath too, so I will open while here and remove the excessive clay. Like that. There you go. I like it so far. How far? Oh, 45 minutes. I still have time. Few minutes left. I'm just fixing the symmetry here. You can see it's different. All right, if you guys have any question, please go ahead and ask. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing with this eye. Go more open on top. And down, and that's just the inside line of the eyelid. And remember to keep the curve. I will still mark the division here. What was your question? Did you say something? Let me see. That face make me laugh. That Benilde send me kisses. That's my question. I didn't get your question. Now I think I brought the wings too high. I'll see. You can always change. I'm not even looking to her face. I'm doing a completely different woman, I guess, just to get in the face expression. Just there's no space here under my nostrils, so I will remove some clay here. I feel it was difficult. Yeah, that was a while ago. Well, he has a lot of very unique features, so that makes it easier. But yeah, I worked very carefully on him. I don't really want to talk about my Fred Mercury. Alright, so I'm just removing some clay. And smoothing out a little bit here. We still didn't do anything with the cheeks and none of that, but so now also make the division here. There you go. Okay, now that we did that with the eyes, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for the first class. I'm gonna take some time here to finish this sculpture, but for now it's good. So I'm going to press the bottom of the eye here, the eyelid, to mark this down, even though there's no mark because she's looking up. There is a deeper area here that separates the eye from the cheeks, so you have to kind of mark, give the space for the eyelid here. Even if it's not a great mark, there is a difference on the shape. Then we can smooth it out after, but isn't there. And also here there's the teardrop where there's a little bit of more volume right here. For about 11 years. Here, and something else that we need to do is the inner corner of the eyes always go a little bit down, forming a little like triangle in there shape. And now we're gonna cut the top eyelid mark here. So I'm just going to dig, like to make a cut to mark where the eyelid ends, the top, like that. And she doesn't show a lot. It's very thin because she has her eye open, so it gets in under this volume here, which there's no skin falling on her face, so I will remove the skin falling on top of the eyelid, and I will round that up. There is volume, but it's not falling over the line. So I will slowly let that line become a higher volume on top of the eye without letting fall. You can see on the picture how it is, and you will understand what I'm saying on the reference. So sometimes if you're like older, or if you're not looking up, this part here will fall over your line, this line, and hide it like with a falling skin. But this is not the case here. You can see the line. What's hiding the line is actually the eyelash, but if there was no eyelash, you'd be able to see. And this part here is very rounded. Okay, like that. See? Okay, I like that. And this is already a completely different eye from this one that we didn't do anything yet. Okay, something else that we can do for every eye, I always do, is after the eye is done here in this area, make sure that there's more volume here, and from the center to inside here, you press it in to remove the volume and make a little bit deeper under the nose there, like this, see? And then that's gonna help to make the volume of the teardrop over here. There you go. Pretty good already. It's been so long that I don't put my hands on clay, and it flow really well, this sculpture. I'm surprised. I'm as surprised as her. There you go. And I'm gonna make a mark here for the philtrum. That also makes it look more like a human. I'm using PV clay, polymer clay. The brand is PV clay. It's a Brazilian brand. Alright, so this is quite good already. I like it. And again, I never worry about putting clay on the jaw here, because this is always where I put my finger and I always mess up, so that's the last thing that I always do. But that's just me. Okay, now I'm going to kind of do the same in this eye, but I will work on the symmetry later, because the time is almost done. We have a few minutes left, and I want to finish this with an alright face. So the same thing, and marking the line. And making it deeper here. In the beginning of the, that's the big ball. Let me get the smaller one. Right here, and bringing this volume to the teardrop. There you go. That's pretty good. Just have to smooth out this forehead now. When I push this in, I got kind of messed up the profile, so I have to fix. There we go. All right, so that's it for today. I don't think I'm gonna start anything or go deeper in any other feature because of time is pretty much done, and I'm actually quite happy with what I accomplished in an hour for this sculpture. So I'll finish this class, giving you guys some time to ask questions, and I can answer before I go. That will be it for today. Any questions? Any questions, any comments, any suggestion, anything before I can say goodbye? And guys, please don't forget to comment the video, to give it a like, because that's going to give engagement, and engagement is the only thing that can keep the channel going, can keep these classes happening. Without engagement, there's no way I can keep on doing the classes, okay? So please, and the live comments do not count as comment. You have to comment after the video is uploaded on YouTube. All right, so I'll finish here for today and see you guys next Tuesday. I'm going camping on Monday, but I'm going camping Thursday and come back on Monday. So I will probably be okay Tuesday to give class because I'm coming back the day after. But if anything happens, I will post on the Facebook group, and I always let you know. But if nothing happens, I'll be here on next Tuesday, same time, 2 o'clock Eastern time. Don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to sim, tá misturado com os floquinhos. Don't forget to comment the video after the live is done, and invite your friends to the channel, share, and whatever you feel like doing to bring engagement to the channel. And if you want to support my work or have access to all of my previous classes, which there's a lot in there, just go to my Patreon and sign up, join the group. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy. See you.